Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles and digital, technically non-existent cardboard rectangles as well. We are here today to talk about a couple of things Wizards is doing. One's intentional, one's unintentional, and the funny thing is they've screwed up, they've done something wrong, but it's actually in our favor for once, if you play Arena. So to understand what the issue is, what's happened here, you need to know what we're specifically talking about. This involves the Theros Beyond Death Mastery Pass. So if you don't have that, then this isn't really going to be terribly relevant to you in terms of, hey, it's good news. And I don't know how long it's going to be before they fix this, which is why pretty much as soon as I figured it out, I set up the camera and was like, okay, let's record it and get a video out on this. So what happened with the Theros Mastery Pass? I talked about this in a previous video, which is apparently over in this location. It's over somewhere in my home. Anyhow, what they did was they made changes that I thought were awful changes in terms of they reduced the amount of gold you're getting from the Mastery Pass by 6,000 gold and reduced it by 200 gems, right? And in exchange, they give you a ranked draft, and a ranked draft is only worth 5,000 gold. So you're giving 6,000 gold and 200 gems for something worth 5,000 gold. And amazingly enough, when I actually explained this in a previous video, I had people saying to me, oh, but the ranked draft you can get rewards from, so it's worth more. And it's like, no, because you could have taken 5,000 out of that 6,000 gold and bought the same draft yourself, still get the same rewards, and still be up 1,000 gold and 200 gems. So I was very disappointed in this change where they went, instead of giving you the gold you can spend on whatever events you want, they go, we're gonna do ranked draft instead. So they messed up, and I just found this out through happenstance. Once you get to level 30 on your Arena Mastery Pass, that is when you get your little ranked activation token. It'll be right up there beside, you know that lotus that you can hover over, that shows you how many wild cards you have left? Right beside that, there'll be a little token. If you were playing back when Wizards was being more generous with the pre-release kits, you'll recognize what these tokens looked like, because they used to give you entries into events with these things, but then they just went, no, you know what, let's just give them booster packs. We'll try and give them, they're trying to find that sweet spot for them where they can make you feel rewarded but not give too much, because when it comes to Arena, Wizards is greedy, except when they mess up like they did here. So the ranked draft token isn't a ranked draft token. It's a traditional draft token. It threw me off because I hovered my mouse over it and it said traditional draft, and I'm like, that's supposed to be a ranked draft token. And I've been saving my ranked drafts. Like I haven't spent any of my gold doing any of the ranked drafts. And I guess on a side note, now that I'm thinking about it, if you're new to the game, understand that traditional drafts aren't easier than ranked drafts, because your brain just goes, oh, ranked, this has got to be more competitive. Ranked drafts are actually the less competitive, more chill kind of drafts, and the traditional ones are a little more intense because you're playing 2 out of 3 and you're playing for higher stakes. So that changes things up. But anyways, the little token said traditional draft, and I'm like, that can't be right. So I went to the traditional draft area, and sure enough, when you have one of these tickets you can redeem for a free event, it will actually highlight like use ticket to enter event. So I saw that there for traditional, and I'm like, okay. And then I went over to the ranked draft section and I checked, and it's just like, no ticket entry. Wait, what's going on? I double checked the Mastery Pass itself in the game, and the Mastery Pass does actually say right there at level 30, you get a ranked draft token. I even went so far as to go back to Wizards' official documentation on their website talking about what's included with Theros Beyond. And it right there says 1 ranked draft token can be redeemed for entry into 1 ranked draft. So everywhere it's saying ranked draft. And that makes sense mathematically from Wizards trying to pull back, because not only are they giving us less on this path, but they're locking in what you can spend it on top of that. So I clicked on the traditional draft entry, and it works. You can't use the token to get into a ranked draft, but you can use it to get into a traditional draft. This has to be a mistake. Ranked drafts are half as much as traditional drafts. Traditional drafts, you can't even enter with gold. You can only enter them with gems. And unlike ranked drafts, traditional drafts cost 1,500 gems. So all of a sudden, it goes from them taking 6,000 gold and 200 gems away from you to give you the equivalent of 750 gems. Now it's the equivalent of 1,500 gems. And that completely changes the math. It's basically double value over an original draft. It's a hardcore score. So what you need to do is you need to accelerate yourself to level 30 as fast as possible. If we're all lucky, Wizards won't catch on to this and won't fix it until we get to the point where they normally do the updates in the month. So that will be around like the 20-something. So you've got a couple weeks, as long as they don't do some kind of like emergency patch, which they might. When they find out, like, you got to understand, when they're constructing the mastery pass, like, they're looking at it from an angle of how do we give people the least possible while appearing to give them the most possible. And that's why you'll notice that almost everything is a style. Most of the rewards you get from it are styles. Now, they try and trick you by going, you're going to get 25 card styles, and then you're going to get 25 master items, which again are only redeemable for card styles. You can kind of choose the order, but really the mastery path has like 50 of these styles on it. And Wizards reduced the amount of gems you get and backloaded them. So before it would be like every 10 levels you went up, you would get 200 gems. Well, now they've pushed all the gems to the end of the mastery pass, hoping that more people won't get to that level, so they won't really derive as much value from it. They sit there and calculate, how much can we take away? How can we make it harder for them to jump through these hoops? So for me, when they make a mistake like this, it's dive in and take advantage of it. Because unfortunately, when it comes to Arena, greed is usually the byword from Wizards of the Coast. And you can actually see that with the new Theros Standard event, which was the other thing that I wanted to discuss, because I think it's a kind of it's a Theros constructed event, right? Where you can only play with cards from the brand new set, but it costs more to enter than a regular standard event. And the reward chain is like, basically, you can get less from it as well. When you go into a normal standard tournament, you can win up to 1,000 gold and multiple individual card rewards. That's how far it goes. And you can lose up to 3 times. Your third loss is what gets you kicked out. But with the Theros events, what happened is the second loss gets you kicked out, and you can only get up to 600 gold from the event. And it costs 500 gold to enter these, 95 gems to enter a standard event where you can win 1,000 gold, and 100 gems to enter a Theros event where you can only win 600 gold max, and if you lose twice, you're out of the event. So it's crazy to me. Like, the two are right there. People can do direct comparisons. Why are they being so greedy and dumb? It just seems like as time has progressed, when it comes to the events we're dealing with, Wizards is getting greedier and greedier. They've turned the Brawl events into you have to pay for them going along. Like, you're going to have to give us 10,000 gold or 2,000 gems every month if you want to play Brawl. And then you have the events, which were supposed to be catch-up events for people who are behind on levels. And now they charge you to get into those, and you can earn a few levels to try and get along on the Mastery Pass. So overall, Wizards is being greedier and greedier and greedier with what they're doing. And this, I gotta say, this traditional draft thing going on, that to me made me smile. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna do a quick little video on this, let everybody know. Hopefully you can take advantage of it. That's pretty much all I have to say on the subject, so I'm not gonna go on over long about it. Thanks for coming by. Actually, share this video around, spread the news so people know what's going on, all right? So thanks for coming by. See y'all later.